Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome back to some Dawnbringer Tarot today with your host, Carmilla. So today we'll be doing another week ahead video, just checking in with the energies of this week, just seeing what's coming up and seeing just any type of little details we can get just to kind of prepare ourselves for what we'll be experiencing this week. So that's always kind of nice. So we have the Kawaii Tarot today, along with the Thot Tarot, the Illuminated Tarot deck, and the Murder of Crows Tarot. And as always, we'll have the Animal Medicine card for the Power Animal of the Week. And then we also have some Energy Oracle cards, some more Big Face playing cards with some more intuitive messages, an Archangel card, and Chakra Wisdom cards as usual. So go ahead and do whatever witchy thing you need to pick your pile, and I, my friend, will see you in your reading. Hello, hello, and this is for all of our friends who picked the little spoof ball, yellow spoof ball with the Kawaii Tarot deck. This will be your reading for today. So what we'll get into first, per usual, is your power animal card, and then we also have some additional messages as well, just to hold you throughout the week. So what we'll do first is turn this guy over, and then we'll get into tarot and everything else later. So let's see what energy you'll be primarily working with this week. Oh, frog. So that is so funny. Frog came through, what was that, last week or maybe the week before last, in the same position. So, and the message is different. So, for all of you who actually picked frog this week, it feels like you're going to be doing some spring cleaning, but spring cleaning in a different way. It feels like there's some very old, some of them feel really minor, but some old like thoughts and some old like emotional or like energetic patterns that you have to clean away. So it's almost like you've done the physical spring cleaning, it feels like, but like frog is coming back through again and saying like, hey, like there's more cleaning. It almost feels like a release, like you need to cry or speak up or say something to someone. It seems like there's something that you need to say to someone, it seems like it's really, really important here. Give me 1 second. I want to light this little tea light. I just want to hear me. Ooh. There we go. It feels like there's something that you need to say to someone, something that you need to speak, something that you need to, there's some type of like verbal communication that needs to come from you to someone else. And it almost feels like this holding back is like, it feels a little bit like a game. There's an energy here. It feels romantic, like maybe what you need to say to this person is like, hey, like I like you or something. Like there's like a little bit of a secret admirer energy here too. Like maybe you have a secret admirer, or maybe somebody is secretly admiring you. It's very, very interesting. It's a very, very interesting energy that's popping up. But it feels like there's something you need to say to someone. Like there's something you need to verbally speak. Only you would know what that is. I would not know what that is. But for another group of you here, because that could be a message just for one person, another group of you here definitely feels like there's some energy that just seems very misaligned, but not in a negative way, like, oh, I'm so unaligned, I'm not spiritual enough, blah, blah, blah. No. It just feels like it's misaligned in a way to where you're on this new frequency, or you're just working with this new level of existence, and the energy that you're still kind of giving some time and attention to just isn't working with this new frequency that you're on. It's just like not helpful, like it's not necessarily useful, like it has served its purpose. So it feels like some emotional clearing, some emotional healing, because this water is like really popping out here on the frog card. Like it's just like there's something here where it's like emotional clearing, emotional cleansing, kind of working something through. So before we get into tarot, I actually want to turn over your energy oracle card and see if it can give any more clarification of the energy you'll be working with this week. So let's see what card that is. So you have financial constraints. Interesting. So it could be too that there's a financial issue that's coming through for you that needs to be cleared out, or something. It's something around money that is making you really emotional, or some idea that you have when it comes to money that's making you think that you can't have it, like a lack consciousness or something like that. Because there does feel like an energy here to where you're trying to be here, or you're trying to be here, like with a more abundant mind state, or a more abundant state of mind, but it feels like you still play into the energies of lack, or like, I'm never going to be enough, or I'm never going to have enough money, or I'm never. And it's almost like, in order for you to not feel that way anymore, you have to like actually think differently about it. Even when you're presented with disappointment, it's almost like a little test or something. Like, let's see, are you going to react the same way, or are you just continuously just going to constantly be disappointed and go down this rabbit hole that says, I will never have enough? So that's the energy that's coming through with that. Interesting how we have the number 13 coming through as well, that divine feminine energy, that mama moon energy. So it definitely feels like there's something emotional happening here. It could be strictly monetary for a lot of you, but it does feel very emotional, like a lack consciousness energy. Let's see. Actually, let's get into all these cards first. I actually want to see what they have, and then we can like pull some tarot cards just to see if there are any other stories or anything out there. So your archangel energy for this week is gentleness. Archangel Sandalphon with, be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. That's very, very sweet energy. And I love how that's coming through to kind of reinforce that, like, that energy with that it seems like you're struggling with. It seems like you're struggling with an energy. It seems like you're struggling with something in your emotional state, some level of disappointment, or some type of sadness or grief, or like, all I keep hearing is, I'll never be enough, I'll never have enough. And it just feels like it's in all realms. It even feels like it's romantic too, in a sense, like, oh, I like this person, or I like, like you have somebody you're admiring. Oops, sorry. But you feel like you'll never be enough for them, or like they're like out of your league or something like that. Is very interesting the way that's coming through. I just want to tell you that you're wonderful. You're perfect the way that you are. You don't need anybody to validate you or tell you that. Okay, I know it's nice having the reminder from other people, but I think right now you're kind of being challenged to be gentle with yourself and to actually be kind to yourself, which is so funny, but it's a hard thing. It's not easy. And then these cards, they're going to be hard to read. My handwriting on these little baby spaces on these cards is hard to read, but I really like the energy that comes from them. So you have 3 of them today or this week, and I'll turn those over and read those messages. So these messages can just have like advice, or something that you need to say, something that you can treat as a mantra. So your first card is, be honest and reasonable. Continue to embrace the unknown and the unseen. Interesting. I love that. And then you have, I need to say. So this is something that will be beneficial for you to say throughout this week, almost like treat it like a mantra. You have, with the Queen of Wands, I need to say, I trust my intuition, power, and my spiritual team to guide me. Yeah. Because it feels like you're like in this lack consciousness, and they're like testing you. Like they're it sounds terrible, but it's like they're purposely disappointing you, or like purposely like leading you on this trail and leading you to these unfulfilled spaces, so that you can recognize, like, how you talk to yourself when you do fail. Like, are you being gentle with yourself, or are you still being a bully? So that's very interesting how that came out. And then we also have, wow, you have the Two of Swords twice. You have the Two of Swords twice. So this is too about embracing the unknown a lot, especially since there seems like there's like a secret energy here. There's some type of secrecy. I can't pinpoint what it is, and probably for a reason. But you need to say, I do not fear the unknown. I surrender to uncertainty. I love that. I love that energy coming through for you this week. So it definitely feels like something in the body, emotional state, clearing, cleansing, and allowing things to just be, what they are. Again, I'm sorry for my handwriting with these little Sharpies and stuff. Like, it's fine. Like, I can read it. And then let's get into your chakra cards, and then we'll use tarot for clarification if there's anything else we want to know. So your chakra cards, we have, what was that? We have the root chakra with independence. Let me see it. I don't know why it's not focusing. Let's be cool here. We have I know what my needs are, and I actively pursue them, knowing that I will be guided and provided for when I put in the effort. I open myself to all possibilities and participate fully in life. I use my imagination and my vision to initiate what I wish for, and I pursue it. I am not waiting to be rescued. There it is. I got to read that one again. I'm being told to read that again. I am not waiting to be rescued. I am not a victim. I am strong. Yep. And then our second chakra card for this week, we have, radiate warmth and sincerity with the heart chakra. I love that heart chakra, root chakra energy. That is such a, I like that combination. So we have, let me see, there we go. I am open to sharing, accepting, communicating, and connecting with others as I focus on this moment, not the past or the future. A smile, a kind-hearted way of speaking, or a hug goes a long way towards uplifting others. I offer care and support where I can without rescuing. That rescuing word is coming up a lot for you, Group 1. I nurture and respect my relationships. I love that. There could be an energy here, too, of someone that just came through. It feels, it feels almost like there is, I'm trying to like get the words, I'm sorry. There's like this nurturing aspect of you that's kind of like being neglected in a big way. Almost like a fear of receiving, and almost like you can sometimes even guilt trip yourself and other people for wanting to receive. Almost like these like memes you see floating around. They're like, oh, the givers are so good and the takers are so bad, and it sounds really stupid and like just dumb, because it seems like there's like this condemnation that comes with receiving, and a lot of us have internalized that. And it seems like maybe that is something that you are keen on, like something that you've done or something that you do, and it almost is like that coming full circle around to that same energy of, you don't need, like, it's a balance, and like in order for you to give, you have to receive. And it's like you're not allowing yourself to actually receive because you're so focused on like trying to like do everything and like trying to like be this like perfect thing for everyone. And it's like that's just not how it works. And maybe that's why emotional purging is coming through so strongly, and maybe that's too why it's coming through like this energy of you having to say something to someone, because it just really strongly feels like you're just being unfair to yourself, and it's almost like you're like testing and challenging the divine for some reason. And I get it, like I've definitely identified with that, but it's like you want so badly for something outside of yourself to like prove something to you, and it's like you are that thing. You've been proving it to yourself every single day, and I think that is really something that you have to let go of. Like, stop trying to like prove your energy to other people. Stop trying to prove your energy to the divine. thinking that the divine has to constantly prove itself to you. You wake up every day and look at yourself in the mirror, and that's proof enough, and just doing what you can and working on what you can control and letting everything else fall away. You can't really do anything else outside of that. It's like you're really, really perfect the way that you are, and I feel that really strongly in my belly just to deliver that message. Like, you're fine and you're beautiful and you're perfect the way you are. You don't have to do anything. You don't need to buy anything to be a certain way. Those things are just fun to do. Think of those things as being fun to do, and focus on your health and your wealth, in the sense that you want to be here and you want to create this legacy and you want to be around for a long time, not just I want this thing, or in order for me to be this thing, I need this thing. You are that thing right now, and you're just undergoing the process of bringing that thing out, right? So it is like, yeah, stop that. I saw the Seven of Swords, Two of Swords again. Look at that. Trust the unknown. You're just gonna have to balance your spirituality and your logic and reasoning right now. Trust that there's something outside of you, because you know that there is. And trust also that you are capable, and your future self will respond accordingly every time, all the time. And the Seven of Swords showed itself too. And I got this strong message of like, leave the self-deception behind. You're deceiving yourself. It's like it's a deceptive energy to think that you're unworthy. And I know it's hard to think differently than that. Believe me, that message is coming through so strongly. Like, it's like I just want to take like I want to rip my heart out and just squeeze it of any gunk that is trapped in it. And I just want to scream and cry and howl for this pile, because it's just like, there's so much happening for you behind the scenes, and it just feels like intuitively, your guides are coming through. Everything, all these beautiful things are happening for you, but you're constantly like, more, like, I don't have enough, or I'm not enough. And it's just like, it's like messing with the frequency almost, it's like you're building to be on this frequency, but you're staying on this frequency over here, because you're afraid that if you don't focus on more, that you won't get more. And it's like, really, the divine is coming through and saying, your intentions are clear. We get you. We hear you. We know what you're saying. We don't need any more. We don't need you to manifest anything. We don't need your list. We don't need anything. We just need you to believe in us and believe in yourself. That's it. We don't need any more than that. The Knight of Swords in reverse. Like, mentally, you just kind of got to get out of your own head. Get out of your own way with this, really. And just really, really do some emotional purging. I'm really, really feeling that strongly in my body. Like, this emotional, like squeezing out some, like, emotional cyst. Definitely just releasing, like, it's so hard, and I know it's so hard to like think of yourself differently, especially when you've been conditioned to be a certain way your whole entire life. You've been conditioned to the Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah, let that guard down for sure. And then bottom of deck energy, we have the Four of Swords. Yeah. It's like with this Four of Swords and this Nine of Wands, like you're being your own enemy right now. You're being your own enemy. You're being your own enemy. You don't have to worry. It just feels like whatever these constraints are, whether they're financial, mental, emotional, whatever, and it's probably all of them, right? It's probably a connection between all those things. But whatever these constraints are, it's like your spiritual team has it. Like, they have it covered. They just need you to trust that you have the ability to allow this process to unfold naturally. Like, you're not you're not trapped. You're not stuck. You're not anything. Like you're flowing. You're actually flowing. You're not doing anything wrong at all. You're right where you need to be. It's just getting out of this idea that you're not. It's like this self-deception energy is almost coming through of I'm not good enough, or like I can't be with this person, or I can't be this type of person, or like questioning your own ability and capability. And I just really feel strongly that you're being asked and challenged to do the exact opposite, especially with radiate warmth and sincerity and independence. It's like they're both like saying a very similar thing. In order for you to radiate warmth and sincerity for others, it's a beautiful thing to practice that same thing on yourself first. So I feel like that's why we have independence and radiate warmth and sincerity together. Like, I know what my needs are, and I actively pursue them, knowing that I will be guided and provided for when I put in the effort. I offer care and support where I can without rescuing. I'm not waiting to be rescued. And it's so funny because there's almost like this like that heart symbol that's in here too. It's like the root chakra symbol it just the way that it looks on the card looks so strongly like a heart, like an actual heart. And the symbol looks that way naturally, but it just looks way more pronounced in the shadows back there. So I feel like, honestly, group one, this week, a big part of your focus is just going to be trusting the unknown and getting comfortable with uncertainty, and knowing that just because things aren't happening the way that you envision them or happening in the way that you want them to happen, like specifically, that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. That doesn't give you an excuse to be mean to yourself. Like, honestly, that's exactly what it feels like. We're just going to breathe that out for a second. So, I'm sorry that everything looks so jumbled right now, but it's kind of the energy, you know? You're fine. You're going to be fine. Everything is fine. Everything is flowing perfectly, beautifully, and really, this is a fun challenge and test for you to kind of think differently about yourself, about your family, and your situation, and about the people in your life, even outside of your family. Like, definitely do some emotional purging. Like, try fear inventories, gratitude inventories, desire inventories, different types of inventories like that, where you just write out some of your fears and you can tell them to people to remove the shame and things like that. It's something that I do personally, and it's been a huge help. So definitely try out fear inventories, desire inventories, gratitude inventories. You can even do like parent inventories. A good friend of mine just showed me a beautiful way to do that. Just kind of writing out some things that you wish someone you loved had said to you, and having somebody read that back to you. You can even read them back to yourself. There's different little healing modalities that you can use to kind of emotionally purge and kind of move some things. I promise, if you use those tools, you will feel differently, and you will start to change on the inside. You will feel a shift. So definitely take advantage of that if you can this week. So thank you so much, group one, for coming through. This is all I am seeing for you today. However, I will see you next week, of course, as always. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell as well, so you know when new messages have arrived. And I will see you next time. Bye bye. Alrighty, this is for all of our friends who chose the Thot tarot deck with this cute little orange feather. This will be your reading for this week. So we'll get into your animal energy first, and then we have all these other messages to get into as well. And then we'll be using tarot as clarification for more of what will be happening this week ahead for your energies. Let's see what's going on. So your animal this week is Black Panther. So it seems like everybody is still working on a similar energy when it comes to what we've been going through recently. Because I believe, if I'm correct, Black Panther energy came out last week as well. So it's just interesting. I'm noticing a pattern here. So I'm trying to dive into this energy because it feels very similar to another pile. So it's probably that everybody's like working on this, kind of like this, like it's like a collective thing. I'm sure it's a collective thing. The first words I'm hearing are, you are not an enemy, and to embrace and reclaim your own power. Tap into your new and renewed energy. You are forgiven. You are not an enemy. So this is very interesting. There's a huge message here of taking back control over your life. And not convincing yourself, like letting go of this idea that you have to convince yourself and other people that you're an enemy is very interesting how it's coming through. Like it's almost like this tough girl, tough guy act, and it keeps you locked away from true vulnerability, and the level of vulnerability, I don't know why my tongue can't roll that, is like keeping you away from this high level, this like potent level of vulnerability that you actually want to receive and experience, but you are putting on an act. Like you want people to think that you're the enemy. You want people to think that you're like this tough person and everybody has to like stay away from you or they're going to get hurt. And it's a very interesting energy that's coming through with this Black Panther. It just feels like you're hiding your true self away because you want to appear another way. But the way that you're appearing is just not ideal because it's not the actual life that you want to live. Like, you don't actually want to live that way. Like, you actually want connections. You actually want people in your life. And it's like this energy of the Black Panther, like, it's so funny because as beautiful as this card is, it like gives off this vibe to me of this person kind of like, or they're like this energy just like sitting in the back and like at the back of a party or something and just watching all these people like communicate and like get to know each other, and you want to go over and join, but you also like are too afraid to go over and talk and conversate because you're afraid that people are not going to understand you, or you're afraid that people are going to judge you. Like it's like you're hiding your true self, and then you're putting on this big mean face like, oh, I'm the enemy, everybody stays away from me because I'm bad. And it's like, literally no. Everybody stays away from you because you just give off this energy of like you are treating yourself as like a repellent, like you want to be repelled. And I honestly feel like this week that enemy part of you is going to be challenged. Like that part, that face that you put on that says, oh, I'm tough, or oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, is going to be challenged in a way that you're like your lack of vulnerability is going to be tapped into. Like this idea that you are incapable of being emotionally vulnerable and this idea that like surrender or submission is wrong or bad. It feels like you're going to be tapping into like this high level of powerlessness, and it feels really good. It feels like surrender, but it also feels like release and relief. Like it's relieving to let these things fall away from you, because it feels like this will give way this week to people actually coming into your life the way they want to and the way you want them to. It doesn't feel bad or like, or like something angry or something weird, nothing like that. It just feels like there's a very, very important life experience that you may be coming into contact with this week that's going to like crack you open and like vulnerably. Like it's going to make you like a little more vulnerable. I don't even know if vulnerably is a word, but like it's your lack of vulnerability that is going to be touched on this week for sure. So let's get into the rest of your cards and see what messages they have, and then we'll use tarot for some more clarification and to see if there are any other stories out there. So our energy oracle card for this week is the Garden and the Gate. Yeah. So the funny thing about this card is you see this girl standing here, right? And she like has like this like comfort zone. She feels listen. You see, it's like the same energy of like, I'm safe over here, but look at those butterflies play, and it's all open and cool. There's new fresh ground. It looks nice over there. I kind of wish I could go over there, but I'm trapped in this cage, y'all. Like that's how it feels. Like you want to be around other people, you want to be around new fresh things, but you keep painting yourself as this enemy and like, oh no, I can't because I gotta keep on this tough person persona, or I have to like keep this face because if people know that I am actually emotional and I actually want to do things like connect, then they're going to take advantage of me. It's a defense mechanism. A coping mechanism. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I'm glad those words came through. That's funny how that came through. Same thing. It's that energy. That's the energy. So we have the Garden and the Gate, which basically that card talks about. Sorry about the oven thing. That card talks about basically being stuck in a comfort zone and aspiring to more, but being too afraid to move out of that gate. So these cards, you are not going to be able to read my handwriting, but guess who can? Sometimes me. I can't all the time, but these are just more channel messages that I just use playing cards to write on using a Sharpie. So let's go into your messages with these and see what they have to say as well. So you know what I mean, like the Fool, time for a new beginning. Hey, it could have been any of the freaking 100 cards that are in that, because it's two full playing decks that I used. And then we also have the Eight of Swords, of course. I need to say, so this is something that you can repeat to yourself this week. That'll be really, really helpful for you to kind of like break through this layer, and just to remind you of where your energy is at, so that you can just have a nicer time moving through it. So this says, I need to say, I am not stuck. I simply need space and time to think and breathe. And then we also have, the King of Swords. This Swords energy is coming through with with another I need to say with, I do what is best for me. There's no need to be controlling. Others will also do the same. Yes. So in that respect, that's saying I do what I need to do for me. Other people will do what they need to do for themselves as well. There's no need for me to try to control anybody else's narrative but my own. So I love that energy. I love how that's coming through. It feels right in line with what is happening here. It's just like you're trying, even with this defense mechanism, you're trying to like paint yourself as this enemy and like control other people's narrative of like how people view you. Like even if somebody comes into your life and they don't think you're the enemy, it feels like you have this tendency to try to push them away because this cloak that you have, this like this very face that you have, because it just feels like you're afraid to share the most tender parts of your energy with other people. Especially it feels like a love interest, because it just feels like you're very afraid of being hurt. You're very afraid of experiencing a high level of love and connection, because you understand that with a high level of love and connection, that means it is possible that it could lead to a high level of pain, the lack of that thing being taken away from you. And it feels like you would rather resonate with the pain first. You would rather just prepare for the pain besides enjoy the love that you receive. So that's coming through very strongly. And let's see your archangel messages for this week. You have Counselor, Archangel Azrael. You are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. I love that. I love that energy. Like, it's like people want to connect with you. People want to know who you are. People want your energy. Like, people want to be around you. And you're super, super, like, it's like you have a great personality, and it's like you hide it most of the time because you're so like afraid of like what other people may say or do or think. And it's just like I keep hearing that over and over again. You're so afraid of high levels of love because you're so afraid of the possibility of the pain that it can accompany it. So it's very interesting. Now, it's like people want to connect with you. Like that's mainly what I'm getting from this card. Is like people want to know about your life. Why is this not focusing? Why? Okay, there we go. People want to know about who you are. People want to connect with you. People want to know about your life. There's just like so much beauty about you that's transforming, and that's just like rising and coming into this beautiful thing, and you can't deny it. But it's like this vulnerability is like a gate right now. It's like acting as like this huge moat or like door or something that's just like getting in the freaking way. So it's like we just got to get you to a point to where you're willing to explore vulnerability and what vulnerability actually means. So let's flip over our chakra wisdom cards and see what messages they have for you as well. We have patience with the root chakra. As I observe in nature, growth takes time. Sure does. This is a time for reflection, persistence, and surrender as things unfold at their own pace. So there's definitely a similar energy, just a collective energy of patience going around. I remain calm and tolerant during any challenging times. I develop quiet hope and expectations based on trust in myself and in a higher power. Going right over there with that counselor energy. And then we also have for you this week, one with all with the crown chakra. I feel the divine force flowing through me. I honor this, and I know that it flows through all. I am calm in knowing that I am one with all, and I contemplate and meditate on this fact. I regularly remind myself that we are all from the same source, and that we are all on a journey as spiritual beings experiencing this physical existence. I'm aware that I have a choice as to how I respond to what is happening in my life. My responses have an enormous effect on my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Oof, yes. That root chakra energy is coming out for everybody. It's like you're being transformed in the way that you experience life and the way that you survive. Like it's a strong energy that's coming through this week. And for you, it's definitely, listen, connecting with people and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you do have to have some patience. This is a defense mechanism you probably had since your childhood. So there's no reason to like try, beat yourself up. You're going to run into situations that are not what you want them what you want them to be. They won't be ideal. They won't be fairy tale beautiful land, and that's okay. Like it's really okay. It's not a perfect thing, it's like it's the way that it needs to be, and you just allow it to unfold naturally. But it seems like anytime you put yourself out there and try, you take one step forward, and if it's like even in the slightest something that you don't like, you take 10 steps back. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, I connected to this person, but this person said something I don't like, or maybe this person doesn't like me, or maybe this person, the way that they interacted with me, did this, or maybe they texted back too slow, and then you're just like, oh no, I have to pull back, and I have to like never talk to them again, or I have to never tell them anything. It's just like weird. Like, should stop using the word weird, but it's because I get it, but it's just like a very old energy that you don't even want to like operate in anymore. But it's safe. It feels very safe. So I honestly feel like that's why one with the crown chakra energy came out too, especially with patience, pair with patience. Like, be patient with yourself, because we're all spiritual beings having a very physical experience. This is a very physical experience, and some things just freaking hurt, and some things just feel very, very good, so it's just allow yourself to go through those waves and stop trying to control and micromanage everybody else's narrative with your own, because you're afraid of your own, high levels of potency and your ability to be vulnerable. So let's see if tarot has anything else for us before we leave. Let's see, we have the Four of Cups in reverse with luxury. That's funny. We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse with prudence. We have the Queen of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful card. It's like, so foxy. And then we also have the Princess of Cups in reverse. And bottom deck, we have the Ace of Cups. Listen, you are not some enemy of love. You're like, don't be that guy or gal or that person that's just like, love is real, love is fake. Fake love. Love doesn't like, that's like kind of the energy that I'm getting from these cards. Like with the Princess of Cups paired with this Queen of Wands, I kind of just have the feeling, the nagging feeling, that you tend to be one of these people who you get hurt and then your whole world just flips over. And you have this very fiery energy about you. You have a very passionate, very bright energy. Like this Counselor card and this Queen of Wands are giving off like the same energy for me right now. Like, people like you, people want to connect with you. You're fire. You're literally a fire human being, but you're like so like in your own head about everything all the time. Like, oh, I have to like be this way in order for people to like me. And it's like, literally, no, you literally just have to breathe, and it, like, you're a very, very deep, passionate, loving, very interesting person. You give off a very, very beautiful energy. But there's just like this, with this Eight of Disc in reverse, there's something that you hide behind. It's almost like there's just something that you worked on for a very long time, which is probably this defense mechanism that you just hide behind it. And it's just like very like thick energy. It's very thick because it's been around. It's a friend of yours for sure. It's been around for a long time. But let me tell you, it is definitely that energy that you're craving for is the same one that you're repelling. You get what I'm saying? The same energy that you're craving for over here with this Ace of Cups and this Four of Cups with luxury in reverse, it's the same thing that you're repelling, because you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and you're not allowing yourself to just be you, and to just be felt and heard, and to just feel. You're not allowing yourself to feel almost, because you just want so badly to just not feel pain. That kind of makes me sad. Group 2, I'm not gonna lie. honestly, I think personally for me, because I've definitely been in this situation before, I think that your best bet is just to run it, you know, just to keep going, just keep doing it. You get rejected, it's fine, keep going, you know, like it's not going to kill you, and it's not going to take away from your energy or from anybody else's energy. It just is what it is. It's just, we all exist in this world, in this life, and we all are just constantly participating in this beautiful dance of exchange. There's literally Sharpie on my fingers right now. Okay. I'll make my own cards someday, so I don't have to use Sharpie anymore. But there's this beautiful, beautiful dance that we all do with this gifting and this exchanging. And it's the same energy that you're desiring to tap into. And I've definitely desired to tap into that energy. And I definitely can identify with this tough girl act. I've been there. It was a defense mechanism for sure. And it almost became like something I was codependent on. Like there's definitely a codependency issue with me in this way in which I was identifying with myself because it made me feel safer. But you're being asked with this Eight of Swords and this King of Swords for sure. And even outside of tarot, I just can feel it very strongly that you're being asked to just stop seeing yourself as the enemy, and you're being literally asked to not be safe. Don't take the safe route. If there's somebody you want to talk to, something you just want to say to them, something you just want to get across, just say it. It might hurt you, it might hurt them, but the pain is not what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the experience. We're doing this for the flow of energy, and we're doing this for our existence, our lives. We're not doing this for anything else. If there's anything you feel like you need to do that'll help you feel better as a person, obviously nothing harmful, but anything you need to say, anything you need to do, a project you feel passionate about, something that you feel lives inside of you, that you just want to see thrive in this world, that you want to see come from you, but you're too afraid of it being judged or rejected or ridiculed. This is just not the time to do things the safe way. It's not the time to be safe. This is the time to work from where you are and to just freaking do it, because there are a lot of people out there just waiting on you to just freaking do it. So I'm sorry for that ramble. That is all I am seeing for our Black Panther friends this week. Just taking a breath with you. It just feels like this week is a little on the heavier side. But as always, I will see you back here next week with our fresh weekly energies. Go ahead, if you would like to, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you hit that bell so that you also always know when new messages have arrived. And that's all, folks. I'm going to wrap it up for you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 3, for all of our friends who chose the Illuminated Tarot deck with this cute little star and circle. I don't know why I picked these random items today. Oh, excuse me. Usually I use crystals or something like that, but I just wasn't feeling that energy today. So, anyway. We are going to move all this stuff to the side per usual. So we'll be using your tarot for more clarification on the energies out there. And then we have our oracle cards that we'll get into as well. So we will start with your power animal of the week energy, which is... oh my God. So this is hilarious. So it's literally the same as last week, and not necessarily this energy that I feel present within this card, but the cards are very similar to what they were last week. Ooh, that energy came through very quickly, very interestingly. This is the energy of a lamb. This is the energy of self-sacrifice, altruism, or self-sacrificing. This is the energy of pretending that self-sacrificing makes you a better person. Ooh. Definitely a collective energy coming through. This is so funny because a few friends and I have been contemplating or like working through this energy, or like going over like what this energy actually means. Like, this came up in another pile as well. So it's funny how it's blank. I don't think that there's a lamb in this deck, or like a sheep or something like that, but it's definitely coming through as a lamb energy, like this self-sacrificing, or this sacrifice for the greater good, which in some cases, making small sacrifices here or there, negotiating, compromise is fine. But this is like an overall like energy of, let me sacrifice myself, or sacrifice I have to prove to someone that I love them, or to prove to someone that I will do anything for them, or to prove to someone that I'm not their enemy. And it is detrimental to your own self, because, okay, so what's interesting is there was this picture that said they gave you $20, I gave you 10. That person had 200 and I only had 10. And I saw that picture and I got a little upset. I was like, that's stupid. Then why'd you give away your $10? Literally your own $10. Like, why are you trying to like prove to someone that, oh, I love you. Here, I'm going to give you everything that I have just to prove that I love you. And I'm sorry if you heard that gulp, but that energy, I feel like right now, is a collective energy that's being overhauled. So I feel like that's exactly why all of these piles this week have had a very similar theme. I think with this new energy, this Age of Aquarius energy coming through, there's just like a new level. And for so long, we've been told to sacrifice our own self for the greater good, or sacrifice our body for these companies, sacrifice our own body for other people, sacrifice our own opinions, our own beliefs for other people. And I think this is the energy that's coming through, like this sacrificial lamb that everybody pretends they want to be. Literally nobody wants to be that. Like, literally nobody wants to be that. Literally, people only do that because they want to prove something, not only to other people but themselves. They want to prove that they're compassionate, they want to prove that they're vulnerable, they want to prove all these things, and it's really all BS. Like, honestly, it's fine to do things for people. It's fine to help others. It's fine to be compassionate. It's fine to forgive. It's fine to reconcile. All these things are beautiful, beautiful energies. However, when you're constantly over giving and overextending, it creates an environment within your own self that is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. That's why we have these energies a lot of the time, or these people a lot of times, who are they seem happy and joyous on the outside because they are radiant and they give so much of themselves to other people, but they're not receiving that same care in return because they're struggling with something on the inside, and people don't want to receive them when they're not happy. People only want to receive them when they're making them happy. They're overextending, they're self-sacrificing, they're this sacrificial lamb while nobody's pouring into them and nobody's sacrificing anything for them, but they're sacrificing even by getting up in the morning and trying to entertain people and trying to make people happy and trying to make everybody happy besides themselves. Stop self-sacrificing, and stop romanticizing sacrificing. Give to yourself. Taking and receiving are not your enemy. They're not bad things. Like, we have to remove this negative connotation we have around receiving things. I said this in another pile too. There's all those memes that go around like, oh, the takers are so bad, and like the takers are just left with nothing at the end of the day, but the givers, they're always giving and they're better people. Like, no, like literally no. Like, a lot of people give out of guilt anyway, and pity anyway, and sympathy anyway. Like, a lot of people don't even give because it's what they want to do naturally. A lot of people just give because, oh, people are watching me, and if I don't help, then people are going to think I'm a bad person, and they go down these rabbit holes of like giving and receiving is so, it's so like covered in all of this BS, all of this conditioning, and all these ideas of guilt and resentment, and I have to help them because that's family, or if I'm a real friend, I'll help them. We literally have been built in a culture that says, forget your boundaries. You have no boundaries. And if you don't give to other people, and if you don't give to me, then that means you're not my real friend, or you're not my real parent. And it's like, literally, everybody just needs to take responsibility for their own life and their own self. And we also have to take responsibility for each other. And that means when it comes to these collective energies and these collective things that are detrimental to entire peoples in our societies, that we all have a responsibility to come together as well, to help nurture these things, to help move the old things out and bring the new things in. We all have this responsibility. And so sorry to go on such a long rant, but pile 3, that's the energy that I'm getting for this pile. Like, it seems like your pile is either on the flip side. It's like there's like 2 divided teams here with pile 3. It feels like one pile is like the self-sacrificing and rah, and I have to be this martyr, and I have to self-sacrifice, and that's what makes me a good person. And on the other side, we have another energy here who is moving out of that. And I feel like the side that has the self-sacrificing, you're going to be challenged this week to look at that differently, because it's like it's not helpful anymore. It's not like helpful. Like, this energy is not helpful. It's not again, I'm not saying you can't give, you can't help, you can't support. You should do those things. We all should do those things. We all should in some way be helping to support each other, our planet, the animal kingdom, every single thing on this planet. What we can do to support each other on this planet, we should be doing, especially, these big companies. However, there's a way that you can do that, like using the word no when it comes to self-sacrificing. Like, my rule of thumb right now is, if I feel guilty about it, or if I'm only going to do it out of guilt, then I'm not doing it. It's really that simple. Like, if somebody's trying to guilt trip me into doing something, like, for example, if I place a very firm boundary and I say no thank you, and that person says, well, I guess blah 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 blah, or like, I'm trying to like think of a better scenario. So say someone says, hey, can you help me with something? Can you read tarot over this situation for me? And I say, hey, I cannot do that, but thank you for thinking of me in your time of need. However, I can refer you to someone else, or something like that. And then if that person replies and says, oh, well, I guess you're not helpful, you're not a real tarot reader because you don't want to help me rid myself of my negative energies, or something crazy like that. Like, I have no obligation to help anybody. I have no obligation to do anything of the sorts. If I feel like it's going to be more of a sacrifice and a detriment to my space, my time, and my energy than what it needs to be. Now, I help people all the time. I help myself all the time. There's it doesn't make you a bad person to say no, group 3. Like, literally, like like, you're not a bad person just because you place a boundary. You say, today, no, I can't do it. Today, no, I can't talk to you. I will call you back later. Sorry. No. The answer is no. And I don't need to explain anything to you. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Use it to the best of your ability. Because really, like, this doesn't even have to play in the realms of being taken advantage of, or whatever. This is about people. who will do things and feel guilty about doing things and then hold on to that resentment and blame the other person without recognizing the fact that you had a desire and you recognized what your desire was and you still went against it. You still said yes even though you meant no, or you still said no even though you meant yes, and then you project the blame on the other people because you're like, well, they asked me to do it, or they didn't do this, or they didn't do that, when it's like literally you had a desire that you simply didn't recognize, or you chose not to act upon. And it's a choice, you know what I mean? Like, it's like literally you choosing to ignore what you desire. Now, I know that I'm being a little abrasive right now, but I understand that this is like a collective conditioning. And I've been that person before. I've been that person for quite some time in my life. And I honestly feel like this collective energy that we're going through, and why I feel this energy right now coming through, is because it's something that we're all working through together as a community, as a team, as a collective. So for anybody who picked Pal 3, I am rooting for you and I love you and I hear you because I've been you. We've all been you before. It's like this BS, like narcissism versus empathy, and oh, you're a narcissist and because you think you're better than me, and I'm an empath because I can feel all your emotions. It's like it sounds all like BS to me. It's all BS. And it's all this, like, sometimes I feel like with that conversation, a lot of times people try to use empathy as some weird crutch. Like, oh, I'm empathetic. That means I'm a better person than you. That means I feel all these energies and I'm willing to self-sacrifice and do. And it's just like, no, like, no, like it doesn't have to be that way. You literally can just use the word no, like you literally can just use the word no. And in some situations that are more extreme, obviously I'm not invalidating anyone who's experiencing some type of like extreme abuse or something that is like a little, like not even a little, but very, very tricky to get out of. Like, this is not to invalidate or even like talk about a situation like that. If that is your situation, then that is something heavy, and that is something to be worked through, and that's something to be worked through on your own time. And what it's your process to unfold, right? And I'm not talking about that type of energy. I'm talking about people who literally go out and say, I bought you a birthday gift and it was my last $15. I hope you're happy. Like, that's the type of energy I'm talking about. That weird sacrificial, self-sacrificing energy where it's like, I did this really good thing for you, but I want you to feel bad about it because I want to prove to you that I love you, but also you should feel guilty and know that you're in debt to me forever because I'm willing to put it all on the line for you. So I want you to prove with your pain that you're willing to put it all on the line for me. And it's like, no. Now, group 3, I'm not saying that all of you are that energy. I honestly feel like this is kind of like this moving through, like you're just on, like everybody here is on a varying level of that and you're just working through that energy. And I'm also feeling too that there are some people in your lives who are displaying that energy and it's not even you. That's something that is not even occurring for you. It's kind of like dead and gone. And there's some people in your lives that you see who are employing those same manipulative tactics because it's manipulation. And you're understanding it as such. You're understanding it as manipulation. You're understanding that, hey, this is not cool for you to do. It's not cool for you to say to me, and here's my boundary, and you can stay there. If you respect me and respect who I am, you're going to stay at that boundary until I say that you are allowed to be active in my life. So there's a lot of energy coming through that blank medicine card, but I can like literally see the words, the numbers, and everything for a lamb just sitting right here. Like, I can see it very, very vividly in my vision, and it just says self-sacrificing right across the top. It's very, very intense how it's coming through. So we're going to get into the rest of your energies with these oracle cards, and then we'll pull some tarot to see if there's anything else coming through. So the energy oracle card we have this week is, listen. listen. I cannot make this stuff up. hostilities. Look at that. Look at that. I do not look at these cards when I shuffle them. They stay face down until I'm ready to turn them over here with all of you. Hostilities. You see? Listen. Because I can feel that. It's like this weird dance of resentment and guilt and shame and stuff when it comes to this self-sacrificing. Nobody likes it. Literally, nobody likes it. You know, like, ooh. And before we dive any more into this, let me get the Archangel energy card to see what message the Archangels have for us to kind of like soothe through some of this energy. We have a life review. Archangel Jeremiah. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. Like I'm saying, like it's just coming through. And it just feels like that lamb energy is here too. It's almost like this is like the blood of the lamb. You know what I'm saying? Like that self-sacrificing BS has to go. It has to go. It's like serves nobody. It served its purpose. Let me not knock it. It served its purpose up until this day, where the energy is asking to be transformed by the bodies who hold it and use it and operate within it. That's a word. And then we'll look at, okay, before I even say anything, I hand wrote these cards in Sharpie. They are coming off. I'm going to make efforts to get these in like actual cards for these because I really want them to be cards. I really like them. You're not going to be able to understand my handwriting possibly. I will. It's sloppy and it's nasty, but I got these messages for you. So these are like I need to say or like some words of advice that I just channeled intuitively and just wrote down on the card. So let's flip them over and see what you have for this week. We have the Four of Pentacles. I need to say I have something to share with the world. I am worthy. Yes. You are worthy, you know. And then you also have the Knight of Cups with, I need to say, I do not ignore my romantic feelings. I am open to, I can't read that word. I can't read it right. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, playfulness. That's what it is. It's playfulness. I am open to playfulness and flirtation. Yes, especially when that energy comes through like that, like self-sacrificing energy comes through when it comes to relationships. Definitely, yeah. And then we also have the Ace of Cups with freshness, nourishment, new love, and romance. Joy, smile, be happy. You are loved. I love myself unconditionally. I love that. And then our chakrism cards for this week are, and I also love how these cards are coming through like it's like literally safe to like love yourself. It's literally safe to be loved with unconditionally without them. There always being these like weird conditions and weird like stipulations, you know. So here's your chakra wisdom cards of the week. We have first, responsibility. I wish you would continue to focus. You know, so the root chakra has come out for every single pile thus far. And it's funny because on the energy oracle card, you're going to get the exclusive peek at this. The energy oracle card, I always flip the bottom decks over on this, where's my finger? Okay, on this side of the table because they're like an overall frequency energy for me. So I like to kind of like read those and see what they have. So the energy oracle card, of course, where did they fall? With the first chakra with Archangel Michael. So that's been sitting over here, and they've literally come out on the chakrism cards for every single pile. So I actually, you know what? Maybe before, sorry to like ramble this to you, group 3, now you know, but like maybe before in the introduction or something like that, I'll introduce the bottom deck energies for all the decks that I use. And then do the readings, because it'll be interesting to like see. You're probably like, why you put the card down? Why you keep doing your reading? Sorry. It's fine. I'm not editing this. It's just going to be there. Judge me if you want to care. So we have the base chakra with responsibility. Focus. I plant myself on solid ground by consistently taking responsibility and having personal accountability for all that I do. I allow others to depend on me being responsible. My actions speak louder than my words. I rise above excess and overindulgence as I forgive myself for my past indiscretions. I know I could not have I know I could not have acted in a more evolved way than I was able to at the time. That's what I'm saying. That last line right there, I know I could not have acted in a more evolved way than I was able to at the time, is definitely this energy. This is a collective energy. This is like a collective purging that's happening within our groups this week. It's like it's definitely somewhere we are all falling, on this spectrum, including me. I'm somewhere on the spectrum working through this energy as well. So it's come through in some way, shape, or form with every pile. So don't feel bad. This is a good place to be, I feel like, because it's like awareness is key. And your other chakrism card with the sacral chakra, well-being. So you have well-being and responsibility. So this is a beautiful energy. I honor and respect my body by giving it what it deserves to thrive. I provide myself with the best of food, exercise, water, relaxation, therapeutic treatments, and thoughts. I only consume foods and liquids that were designed by nature to be in my body. I stimulate my body's energy with flow and exercise. I make time to rest, as stillness and tranquility are vital to keep my mind and body rejuvenated. Yes, 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 yes. And the beautiful thing about this, with having these two lower chakra, or like the animal realm, like what I like to call them. I don't like using the word lower, but they're like the animal realm chakras, I like to call them. The beautiful thing about having them come out, especially paired with this like lamb energy that I'm feeling, especially paired with this hostilities card, is definitely like this primal energy that's being like transformed in you, like definitely like some conditioned animal response, almost like you were like, it's conditioning, like you were trained, like think of yourself as a trained animal being told to act a certain way, or to what is the word? Exhibit a certain behavior so that you are likable, so that you are tame, so that you are worthy of, like they would train a dog so that the dog is worthy of being in the home or something like that. This is what it feels like, this self-sacrificing energy, especially depending on your culture and your religious background and things like that. It plays a huge factor in this. So you're going to receive this how you receive this. Hey, I'm not here to like change anybody's culture or religious upbringing or anything like that, but I will say you chose this pile for a reason, and there's definitely a reason you were drawn to this reading. So I just love how those two lower realm energies came through, because they're the ones who really help transform our physical experiences and our physical energies, the really thick, deep ones. And the sacral chakra, to me, always talks about your uniqueness and always being enough and always having enough. Like you knowing that you have something to share with the world, you knowing that you're worthy of all experiences, especially those that allow you to be fun and flirtatious and playful, those that allow you to experience pleasure, basically. And that's where that sacral chakra energy is coming through. So I love that. I love how that energy is coming through in multiple ways, because this is definitely something that needs to be transformed, because you just see it everywhere. You see it in friendships, you see it in marriages, relationships, you see it in work, everywhere, and especially in family and things like that, and and religion and things like that. So it's definitely a energy that it just needs a new way of being, so that we all can make sure that not only are other people's needs being satisfied, but we are also being satisfied in that process as well, and deadening anything that tells us that we are not worthy of satisfying them or I mean, we're not worthy of satisfying ourselves unless that thing is satisfied first, or if we just have, or like sacrificing our own happiness to to add to that other thing, or making sure that other thing is sustained. So that's the energy that's coming through. Oh my God, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. My phone just twerking a little bit. It's fine. Just go with that. I just want to see if there's any more energies out there. What else can you tell me about this energy? It's like you're afraid to be somebody's enemy. You're a people pleaser and you're really afraid to be confrontational. But this hostilities card, it's like his eyes are like really looking at me like, like you might have to tell somebody no, you might have to tell somebody what for. And that comes through a lot in my readings, like boundaries. I'm definitely a huge advocate for boundaries and just telling people no. You know, like they just gotta get hit with that no. And it's for a long time, especially in relations to love, I didn't have really good boundaries. But now they just get stronger and stronger by the day. I don't need you. I don't need your ashy sign either. You know, it's fine. So let's see what we can pick up with tarot. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Yep. There's that family. And we have the Seven of Cups. And bottom deck energy, we have the Four of Swords is everywhere. Wow, that's interesting. The Four of Swords with bottom deck. Okay, let's see if I can like move all this stuff. Sorry, I'm like messing it up and making it weird. Let's just get these out of the way. One day I'll have like a bigger setup and then you'll like be able to see actually what I'm doing. Okay. There's that new energy. This is that exact like it like the cards are literally like like the exact like representation of what I was saying. It's like removing this old conditioning, like with the Seven of Cups, and you're like actually like conquering or coming above like this old conditioning, this old bully inside of you that tells you that you have to say this, like I have to feed this monster, this conditioning, and it doesn't even serve me, it doesn't even fill me up, it doesn't even do anything for me. It just takes and it just takes and it just takes, and it feels like finally you're removing this old conditioning. And it also feels like this energy can come through as like a person, like this person questioning what you're doing or questioning why you're choosing to tap into this like new level of understanding of self, and they want to like try to like use your old self against you basically. But it's like you're coming to understand that like that was you, but you know what, I know I could not have acted in a more evolved way than I was able to at the time. Exactly. So I feel like this is just like an evolution. It's like a beautiful balance here too between that animal realm, like I was talking earlier, and then that like higher level realm. And it also feels like this is like paired, like I almost feel the energy of these people are here. Like I get the feeling or the energy that these people right here are like actually back here in this building actually having this conversation right now. And in order for you to turn around and to get there out of this Seven of Cups energy or step into that Eight of Cups energy, you have to remove that conditioning. Stepping into the Seven of Cups energy and saying, I'm removing this conditioning, actually taking the action to walk away with the Eight of Cups will lead to that wish fulfillment and leave this monster behind, because this monster, it's not part of this anymore. You've come to conquer this thing. You've come to bring death to this thing, you know, and not if it's an actual person, but you're not going to kill them, but but you're going to like let them know, no, this is my boundary. You cannot follow me here. You cannot come here with me. Your conditioning and the way you see me and the way you think about me cannot come with me here. It's really just that simple. It's really just that simple. And it's like with the Two of Pentacles in reverse paired with this Ace of Wands energy, it's like that newness. It's like coming. Like it's like it's here. You either grasp a hold of that understanding or you're going to. It almost feels like in this energy you don't have a choice. It feels like a collective push. It feels like something that is happening on a larger scale that you don't have necessarily you don't like us humans, not even you, like as an individual person watching this, but even, all of us, we don't have necessarily we can't control this energy of what's happening. I feel like the Four of Swords is speaking to that too. Like, we're done with this balancing of the two. We're done with this, like, not balancing, but we're done with this juggling of the two, and we're balancing the two. We're balancing our giving and our receiving. Even like the way like she's like bending over and like dancing, or like they're bending over and dancing with these pentacles. It's like I have both of them, and I'm like almost like a temperance energy of like allowing like this infinity energy to happen between them. It feels very harmonious, and it's like you're allowing yourself to receive. You're allowing yourself to receive and flow in all ways in order to achieve this balanced energy. This is where I give. This is where I receive, and you're understanding it as a part of a larger whole, which is a very beautiful energy. I just feel like it feels like the energy right now is like brewing, and within the collective and within your subconscious, and with this Four of Swords energy, it feels like an energy of you don't necessarily have a choice in what is happening here, because it's happening collectively. None of us have a choice in what is happening right now collectively, and we're all just doing what we feel guided to do, and we're all just playing the roles that we've been designed to play. So that's definitely the energy that I'm picking up with these cards, just basically reinforcing everything that we already said. So just, again, the self-sacrifice your life, and let the rest of that go. Okay, let everything that does not resonate with that fall away, because, or resonate with the new you. All the self-sacrificing and stuff that you put yourself through, and it's run its course. Basically, it's run its course, and it's just time to kind of like let that all go and stop being such a bully to yourself and other people. Stop holding resentment against other people when you know what you desired or what you wanted to say in the first place. Like you knew, you just, at the time, you were just too afraid or too scared to act upon it. But now you have an opportunity to put it into practice, and the best person you can practice with first is yourself. So the self-sacrifice energy, stop sacrificing yourself for stuff like the TV and Instagram. Like, start with yourself first, and then you can practice on other people. We're all here to help each other learn and grow, no matter what role that we're playing. So that is all I'm seeing for this energy. I am sorry that your read was so long, but it's okay. We got the messages across that needed to come across. You received the energy that you needed to receive. However, if this reading did not resonate with you, that is completely fine. What we like to say here is take what resonates. It's simply okay. If it doesn't resonate, everything else will fall away. Like, you don't have to hang on to anything that is not yours, okay? Like, it's fine. So, hopefully I will see you again next week, and we'll talk about more of the week ahead energies. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell as well, so that you know when new messages have arrived. And on that note, I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Group 4, hello. This is for everyone who picked the Murder of Crows Tarot with this cute little heart with a little spoof energy. This will be your reading today. So as always, we're going to hop into the power animal energy, and then we are going to dive into some oracle messages. And then we'll get some added clarifiers from the actual tarot. So let's tap into the power animal energy. And I'm sorry if you can hear the dog barking in the back. That's our neighbor's dog, and it literally just barks all the time. And we don't even yeah. So, but let's get into your energy this week. Let's see what energy we have going for you. Oh, whoa, we have dolphin. I love this energy so much. I've been talking about dolphins for the past week. I love this energy. Ooh, it feels so magical and so potent. It feels very mysterious, but also like family and connection. And this doesn't only mean blood family, but this means soul family. This means even I'm sorry if you can hear me gulping and stuff with the mic. It's new, but I'm just gonna keep on flying. My ears are ringing. This is a magical energy. This just feels I just feel like my and your spiritual team is cheering. Your spiritual team is happy. It's like a rejoice. It's a very rejoiceful energy. There's also energy here too of taking time to just breathe. Just taking a moment to just close your eyes and just hear and feel and taste and recognize the world. Just the magic that is just found in everyday things, like air and water and plants and soil, the sun. This feels like a very magical energy. It's very potent, very magician-like. It's very nice. It's very calm. I feel like I just want to breathe. I just want to sit here and chill and just vibe. It just feels like I made it. That's what it feels like. It feels like the energy of I made it. The energy is just there for me. Everything is just aligning. My friends are friends. My enemies are enemies. They're both the same thing. It's just it just feels very unbothered. It feels very centered, and it feels very you get it. You just on a roll right now. It feels like this week especially, it just feels like you are gaining momentum for something to come through, or for something to just be what it needs to be for you to kind of move on. But it feels like you already know it and you're celebrating it, and it's like that. That's the energy. It's just, it just feels like all I do is win, 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 no matter what. It just feels like whatever just needs to happen for you is happening in a good way. Maybe for some of you in a darker sense, whatever upheaval, soul retrieval, and things like that you're experiencing can be a lot denser than what I'm feeling, because I do feel a little heaviness in my heart, a little grieving of the past and what I've been through already, or what you've been through already. But it definitely feels like this is the energy. This is where you've been working to be. You just feel clear. There's a large level of mental clarity here. There's just a surrender, a releasing of the burden here. There's not really much to say about the energy. Oops, sorry. Besides my phone twerking. But it feels very there's not really many words for it. This is just like, I just want to put on some good music and just sip tea or sip a nice drink and just vibe, like the song First Class by, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but Kyunbin. I'll put it down in the description box. It's coming through very strongly. Like, I just feel like I'm just on a plane. Nice outfit. Nice outfit. Sipping that yak from a cup, swirling around with a piece of ice. Like, this is that. This is nice energy. I like this. Maybe this is gonna be, maybe if that's you this week, I really want to know. There's not a lot of words here. It's just a feeling. It's just a vibe. So let's flip over your energy oracle card and see what energy it has for us. You have all tied up. It is like not coming through like that at all. It's not coming through like you would think this card means. It definitely feels like an energy of like being all tied up in like in like the magic of life, which is what you see here on this card. Now, if you read the description of this card, it probably will say differently, but that's just, you have the 2 and the 3 equals 5, freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like not, this is vibe and energy. Like, this is a whole vibe. Like, you feel like a whole bop to me right now. Like, it's like just being really caught up in the magic of life. And you might feel like it's a little naive or like a little like, oh, this is stupid. I shouldn't think this way because, life is hard, life is cruel. But it's just like the energy is just there for you. So you're just taking advantage of it. Even if there's others around you who can't at this time, you're just like kind of holding that frequency for everybody around you. It's very beautiful the way it's coming through. Oh, interesting. Because you are the only group that got 2 archangel messages as well. So let's turn those over and see what they are. You have moon cycles with Archangel Haniel, with notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations, and capitalize upon these cycles. It feels like you already know that, like you've already been working with this energy. Like, even like how magical, like, and vibrant and glowy these like doves look over her head. Like, it's just like you're vibing, like you're vibing. And you also have spiritual understanding with Archangel Raziel. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. And there's that dove again. It's just like you've definitely been on a journey. And it's like you're getting to the end of that and you're just like vibing with it. Like, however it plays out, you're just like, hey, I've done a great job. I've done my thing, like. Let's see what your chakra cards are this week. I'm very interested. And then we'll get into your messages. Oh yeah, you have 4 cards from these cards as well. But let's get into the chakra cards first. We have divine intervention. Look at that. You're vibing with the magic of just you're like vibing with the magic of the whole entire like realm right now. You're just with the energy right now. It's good. It feels so good. Look at that divine intervention. What? And it feels like divine intervention in a good way. Like, it doesn't feel like I smite thee. It feels more like, like that thing. Like, it just feels like that thing that you needed, or just that one little push from the divine you needed, or just like some type of just feel good energy from a different realm just coming to you and just like vibing with you. Just like I can like totally see you with like an angel or something, just like, or you just like sitting with your spiritual team, just like drinking a soda or something. Like, that's what it feels like. Oh, let me read the card. I'm sorry. But this says, I honor a higher power and know that anything is possible. I let a higher power have a more active presence in my life, and I know that my life is divinely guided. I surrender to this truth. I know that I am loved, guided, and protected by a higher source. I am open to seeking guidance in my spiritual quest from a spiritual teacher, master, or guru. I love that crown chakra energy. That is coming through very strong. It's like your crown is vibing right now. Like, it's on. It's like the crown is on you and you're like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, it's fine. Everything is fine. In a good way. Not that everything is fine and I'm frantically panicking. Like, everything is fine. Like, you've surrendered to your highest bliss. You surrendered to your goals. You surrendered to the real you, it feels feels like. And we also have sexuality. You know what? We haven't even gotten to these cards yet. So I don't want to speak too soon, but you've completed a cycle here, because we have the 40 and the 23, which will reduce to 9, and you have the 7 and the 2, which also reduces to 9. You've completed some type of cycle here. That's why you have moon cycles out here. And it feels like you've been toiling for a long time, and it took you a very, very long time to get to where you are now. And the moon is just working her energy. So I would honestly advise you, if you feel it, please tap into the moon's energy and just kind of check in with what she's doing. See what she's going to be in tomorrow, the next day. Just kind of this week, just kind of document like how you're feeling based on where the moon is, or like what constellation she's hanging out in, because I feel like that'll be very helpful to you. But also maybe get a moon chart and check in with her full moons this year, her new moons and things like that. And if there are any eclipses, like she's definitely your friend. It's like she's been the moon herself. The inside realm, the inner energies have been trying to get you to listen, and they've been trying to get you to understand something about your beautiful self. And it's like you get it, like you don't know how you get it, but you get it intuitively, like you understand, and you've been doing the work, you've done the job, like you get it, you're here. So let me read sexuality before I get too much further into this. I honor and respect my sexuality, and I allow the natural flow of my feelings. Yeah. I acknowledge that my sexual thoughts and feelings will arise, and I release unnecessary guilt regarding sex. I am open to positive sensual feelings coming to me from others. At the same time, I keep my sexual activities well directed and in balance. I love that energy. Like, it's coming through with the dolphin energy too. Like, I just feel like this is like community energy, like connecting to people. Like, it just feels right. Like, whatever your fantasies are, whatever it is you've been dreaming of, ooh, it's coming through. Like, it just feels good. Let's see what these cards have to say. So the likelihood of you being able to read my handwriting is slim to none. And I think 2 of the other piles, I couldn't even read it. But these are just plain cards where I wrote the messages on. I just have bigger cards, and I wrote new messages. But I still use that other smaller deck too, because I really like those too. They're still very high powered. But we will flip these over and see what messages they have. So we have the King of Cups with the I need to say. So the I need to say cards are cards that whatever the saying is, it's something that you'll benefit from saying or repeating to yourself throughout the week. It says, it is safe for me to express love and romantic gestures. I allow romantic connections to heal me. And there you are. We have, I need to say, another one. My value is not determined by how hard I can work or what I can physically produce. I love that. Yes, it's like you're getting it. Like, you're wrapping up a cycle. That's crazy, right? You're wrapping up a cycle, and it's not even like wrapping up. It's just like you're like watching it go. You're like, bye old self, bye old life. Like, it's fire. And then we have I need to say, and another one. I enjoy my independence and alone time as new love and energy make their way to me. Wow. Okay. Just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead and say yes. Just go ahead and say yes to it. And then your last card is the Three of Wands with the bye. I knew it was the Three of Wands too, because I saw the Three of Wands when I was saying that. Like, just looking on the coast and just watching like the ships kind of like go like bye. And this says, you are your own hero. You are who you need for your story. And there's that. I don't even feel like we need tarot for that. I feel like the tarot is not going to do anything but reinforce what I am saying here. I'll definitely shuffle cards, just like, shuffle therapy. But like, you're saying goodbye to an old energy, like this old energy of anxiety and disappointment. It's just like there was times where it got the best of you and where you just struggle to believe, but it's just like you believe. You believe in yourself, and you believe in others, and you believe in a higher entity, and higher powers, and you're just like really vibing with life right now. And you'll just experience this week, but I feel like this is a whole like permanent like a life change. And I'm not just saying that because I want that for you, because I totally want that for you and me, but it just feels like it feels like a very, very important end of a story. Like a very, very, it feels like balancing. It feels like this is the balance that you need. Like this is exactly what needs to make its way in. Oh my God. Anyway, this is what you need. You hear all those like ambulance and like firefighters and stuff. Like I know that's like they're going to rescue someone, but that like it's giving me like divine intervention vibes, like rescue, help, support. And it's not even like necessarily a rescue, but like it's just what you need. It's what you need. So we have yeah, listen, that is the Wheel of Fortune. Like, hey, listen, you saw the car fly out, we saw it together, we looked at that together. It's like, this is that energy. That's the energy you like to see, like, let me not like crap on all the cards, because the energy of every single one of these cards has helped me beyond belief. From the Five of Cups and the Seven of Swords, to the Queen of Wands and the Empress and the Magician and all these other energies, like they've all done their part, and I feel like you like feel that same exact way. Like you've just been going through it, and you understood at some point in your journey that you had to go through it in order to get through it. And now you're like in this process of reaping the rewards of getting through it. This is that energy. Yep. Listen. You know what I mean? Listen. Yeah. This is that energy. I feel like it's bottom deck. Yep. This is that energy. Yep. Renewal, sanctuary. It's time. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Where things have been slow moving, they will no more. And our last card is the Three of Wands energy once again, just to remind you that your future is a beautiful place. And you know that, and you've known that for a very, very long time. And you've been calling your future energy into your present moment this entire time. What it is that you need, you knew what it was from the jump. You knew what it was from the beginning. And you're finally just calling that energy into you. I just want to peek what it was. I started to see it and I was like, I need to know. You definitely have worked. Oh my God. Sorry, the ambulance are like driving down this street. But yeah, you've known what you needed this entire time. You've been calling that energy into your own self, and it's here. It's here. Whatever that energy looks like or feels like for you, it's here because you've ended a very, very old cycle, a very, very old energy, and it's just time to wrap it up for a new one. Look at that. We have the 3 and the 6 again. That 9 again. That 9 coming through again. This is that energy. There's not even a lot of words. You know already. Whoever is watching this reading, you already know. You know exactly what I'm saying. You know exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't need to worry about anything. You already know. I just want to breathe with you for 1 second because this is some energy. This is good. I'm going to go listen to some chill music now, just vibe. That is all I'm seeing for your group. How for? I am so happy for you. You did it. You did it. You did it. It's your time. It's the energy. Please let me know how this is playing out for you in the comments. I would really, really love to know. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today and allowing your guides to chit chat with me today. And it was beautiful. Don't forget to, if you want to, like and subscribe and hit the bell as well so you know when new messages have arrived. And on that note, my dear soul kin, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.